Welcome back to True Crime with Shannon, where I cover missing persons, unsolved cases, crime news, and more. So, we got sad news. I found out about it on Saturday morning after my race, and I wanted to compile something on it. Little Athena Strand sadly was found. She was unalived, and I'm going to be discussing that today in this video, including all the updates that we know thus far. But before I get into that, I always like to feature a missing persons poster on the channel. So let me pull up today's missing persons poster. Today's missing person is from Sacramento, California. 13-year-old Violet Downs was last seen on November 28th, 2022 around midnight. Violet was contacted by a 36-year-old man on social media. That man was interviewed by law enforcement and Violet was not located. Violet's phone was turned off so it cannot be tracked. Violet is 5'4" with blue eyes and blonde hair. They're asking if you have seen Violet or have any information, please contact law enforcement in reference to Sacramento Sheriff, case number 22-353767. So again, this is Violet Downs, 13 years old from Sacramento, California, and there's a few photos of her, and it looks like she may have been dealing with somebody online. And as far as the fact that she hasn't been located yet, I don't know if that means that somebody else got a hold of her or what have you. Either way, hopefully this young lady can be brought home safe. So I'm going to get us updated on the sad case of now Athena Strand. I went through a few sources and I'm trying to pull out as much as we know so far about the monster who abducted her. This one here is from, looks like Peacock News here, NBC News. FedEx driver kidnapped 7-year-old Texas girl who was found dead Friday, officials say. The body of Athena Strand, whose disappearance Wednesday prompted 200 volunteers to help in the search, was found Friday. A FedEx contract worker is in custody. A FedEx contract driver in Texas was arrested Friday and charged in the kidnapping and unaliving of a 7-year-old girl who went missing 2 days earlier, officials said. The disappearance of Athena Strand, who vanished Wednesday from her home in Paradise in Wise County, prompted a large search with around 200 volunteers from the community. On Friday, authorities found her body southeast of the city of Boyd, a city about 11 miles away. Wise County Sheriff Lane Atkin told reporters. We do have a confession, Atkin said at a news conference Friday night. The driver, Tanner Lynn Horner, 31, was arrested on charges of capital unaliving and aggravated kidnapping, Atkin said. He is being held in jail in lieu of a $1.5 million bond Friday night. It was not immediately clear Friday night if Horner had an attorney who could speak on his behalf. Athena arrived home from school Wednesday afternoon, as she usually does, and at 6:40 p.m., her stepmother reported the child missing, Atkin has said. Horner delivered a package to the home. Around that time, she was discovered missing, Atkin said Friday night. Investigators believe the girl died within about an hour of the abduction. Officials at a news conference did not reveal a motive and did not say how the child was unalived. So let me pull up the press conference. So here is the press conference that they gave on Friday evening out of Wise County about them finding Athena Strand.
Good evening. We're glad to see y'all here tonight. It's been a really tough few days, and I'm very proud of the people who are here who helped us so much to get some resolution, to get some understanding, to provide answers for the families. And these people, we couldn't have done it without that. Could not have done it without them. The Texas Rangers. This is the acting SAC, Jim Dwyer with FBI. And then I've got my chief deputy and captain, enforcement captain here. It was a monumental task, and because of the cooperation, because of us working together, we were able to get the answers. Some of the answers were not the answers that we would have hoped that we would have gotten. And we want to send our condolences out to the family of Athena Strand. Her body was recovered about 2 hours ago, maybe 3, 6 miles that direction. It hurts our hearts to know that that child died. So much so that she is on her way now to the medical examiner's office. And there's a Texas Ranger in front of her, and there's a Texas Ranger behind her. This community does not like losing our children. And we could see it because of all the people who came out and helped us throughout this ordeal. It was most meaningful what the citizens did because we have a close-knit group of folks here in Wise County. And it's our pleasure to serve these folks in Wise County, the Rangers, the FBI, and the Sheriff's Office. We're glad that we've had this opportunity, but we're just sad that it didn't end the way that we would hope that it would end. Earlier today, a tip was received. We knew early on in the investigation that there had been a FedEx driver made a delivery in front of the house about the same time that little Athena, 7-year-old Athena, came up missing. And continued good work by this investigative team, they were able to determine that the driver abducted Athena. And from the investigative standpoint, digitally as well as good old interviews, we think Athena died within just a very hour or so, the very hour or so after her departure from her home. This driver is a contract driver, and his name is Tanner Lynn Horner. He's 31, and he's from Lake Worth. He's in the Wise County Jail right now because of the good work of these people and all the folks out there who have helped, our EMC, our prosecutors here tonight, the deputies, the highway patrol, the citizens. He's in our jail, and he's in our jail being charged with capital murder, aggravated kidnapping, and his bond is $1.5 million at this time. We thank again the community, and I guess at this point we'll take questions.
Was her body found on that 3599 where you were at earlier?
You want to answer that? No, it was on another county road, about 6 miles. Now, we don't really want to release that address right now, but it was 6 miles further from here, so it's probably 3 miles past that. It's southeast of Boyd.
Was the driver actually delivering a package to that home?
Yes, sir, he was.
So she was abducted from her home, from the front of her home?
The driveway is about 200 yards or so probably pretty close to her gate.
What leads you to believe that she passed away within an hour of leaving home?
There's digital evidence as well as interviews that causes us to believe that.
How is the driver located?
You want to answer that question? Would you like to answer that question?
There were a number of investigative steps that have taken course along the way. The sheriff mentioned the digital evidence that was there, and we were able to work through that digital evidence and through partnerships with FedEx in order to help assist with locating him and finding him this afternoon.
Does this man have any prior criminal history?
I don't know the answer to that question at this point.
When you talk about that digital evidence, do you mean ring camera videos, surveillance camera videos?
I think the investigation is still unfolding at this point, and I think we'll leave the specifics in terms of what that is there. But right now we're on behalf of the FBI, I'd also like to offer my condolences to the Strand family and to the Wise County community as well. The partnerships with the Texas Rangers and with the gentleman behind us, the sheriff from Wise County, were truly remarkable and truly helped to bring some closure to that family today. And we know that they're hurting, but we do offer our deepest condolences to them.
Is just one person that you believe is responsible?
That is currently the understanding, yes.
And what led you to that location where her body was recovered?
Sheriff, you...
I can address that. It was because of the work of the Rangers and our investigators who were doing the interview that got us to that location based on the information they received from the suspect, now defendant.
The suspect confessed?
We do have a confession.
Is there anything that you can give us on why the suspect said he did this, or what motivated him? Or?
We really can't get into the content of the confession, but I will say that we have a confession, and there's so many other things because this has really just come to this position, this time, and just closure just hours ago. So it's still very, very early, but we wanted to make sure that we got the information out, what has happened today because of the good work right here.
Do you know if this man knew Athena or her family?
No, that's a good question, and I appreciate that. No, he was not related and did not know the family.
We saw a large police presence on County Road 4599. Can you disclose?
That was just misinformation. As the interview went on, better information came in, and that's how we ended up doing what we did to actually recover the body.
How many locations did he guide you to before you?
There were three that I recall. Is that correct, Job? Three? Two other locations.
Was the other location the Lake Worth Fort Worth location near Somerville Place Road?
That is the defendant's home address.
Was there anything recovered there?
That again, that FBI as well as the Rangers ran that search warrant. We don't have that detail right now.
That's part of an ongoing investigation.
I know you've been in contact with the family. Is there anything that they want to say to the public tonight, to people that have searched?
I have. I spent quite a bit of time with the family, and they want you to know that they appreciate that. The vast majority of the family is from Oklahoma, and they appreciated the fact that we care so much. They're devastated. They're angry because of what happened. Precious child taken from their lives. So other than their appreciation, and they would like to know that the community we give them our condolences, but we also want to make sure that we give them the privacy that they need. And I hope that everybody will respect that and give them a little bit of space, not only with the family from Oklahoma, but the family right here in Cottondale. Let's give them a little time. And we would ask, and from my closing remarks, we would ask that we spend some time and pray for these folks so that they might be relieved of some of the pain. It's going to be a difficult few days, some sleepless nights, and they need our support.
Sheriff, is there a way we can get a mugshot yet? Have you got a mugshot on this stuff?
We'll be able to get one soon, and I think we could probably get that through the Wise County Sheriff's Office.
Sheriff, one last thing. You are a retired ranger, been in law enforcement 50 years. Describe this case in relation to your entire career.
You know, it's one of the toughest investigations that I've been involved in because it's a child. And anytime there's a child that dies, it just hits you in your heart. You compare that child to your own children when they were that age, and it just takes the wind out of your sails, but at the same time, it gives you purpose because you want to make sure that you do the best you can so that you get the best resources together to do what has been done here and getting this done in really just about a 3-day period. It's amazing that the work was done by this team, and I'm in awe. So it breaks my heart, but at the same time, it really gives me a lot of spirit knowing that we can accomplish what we accomplished here these last 3 days.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So that was the sheriff speaking. That was Friday late evening when they unfortunately found Athena deceased. And I want to go over the timeline for what we know thus far, and I also want to go over the suspect. Or at this point, he's already confessed. So I want to go over Tanner, the contracted FedEx driver, who apparently has no criminal history. Like they said, they don't know the motive or anything at this point. So it's very strange that it really was, like they said, a crime of opportunity. So I guess something came in this to this man, and he decided to take this little girl. It's one of those things I think that we're not going to understand, and it's always a sad thing that someone would take someone else's child away from them and unalive them. It's really really sad, and it's hard to comprehend. It truly is. So I pulled this from the Star Telegram. I had to do some screenshots. Uh, they want a subscription, but I'm definitely crediting them as I always do. They have a pretty good timeline through Saturday on their website. The timeline begins on Wednesday, 4:15 p.m. States Athena exits the school bus at her father's royal home in Paradise. She and her stepmother argue, and Athena walks away. So then we end up to the FedEx driver makes a delivery in front of her house around the time she disappears. 4:45 p.m., Athena's stepmother discovers the girl is not in her room and begins searching. Her stepmother expected she would come back, Wise County Sheriff Lane Atkin later said. 5:40 p.m., the stepmother contacts the Wise County Sheriff's Office. Officers arrive within about 14 minutes and conduct an initial search that lasts until 4:30 a.m. Thursday. Okay, and that would bring us to Thursday. Thursday is the Amber Alert was issued. 7 a.m. An expanded search begins. Hundreds of volunteers from the community joined federal, state, and local law officers in walking shoulder to shoulder through the brush. Searchers used helicopters with thermal imaging cameras, drones, horses, dogs, and ATVs. Okay, and around 2 p.m., an Amber Alert is actually issued by the Texas Department of Public Safety. That doesn't mean there was an abduction, but it gets the information out to the citizens, Atkins says. So that was Thursday around 2 p.m. Friday, 2 p.m. The search for Athena becomes an investigation with a search, authorities say. Hopefully, we can find Athena and bring her home alive and well. But it's all about the possibilities, and we have to look at everything, Atkins says. 7 p.m. on Friday, law officers clear a scene less than 10 miles from Athena's home after a search. Atkins said Athena's body was found a few miles from that site, along the Trinity River, one of several sites that were searched. Okay, and that brings us to Friday night, shortly after 10 p.m. Lane announces that Athena's body has been found and that Horner, 31, has been arrested and accused of kidnapping and unaliving her. Authorities later say she was unalived within about an hour of her disappearance. Saturday, a crime of opportunity. 11 a.m. on Saturday, Akin tells Star Telegram that Horner, who did not know Athena or her family, abducted the 7-year-old because their paths happened to cross that day. To me, it's a crime of opportunity, he says. So again, there's really no known motive. It's just something happened in this sick person's head. And we'll get a little bit about the suspect. Okay. Tanner Horner, he's 31 years old. He's from Fort Worth, Texas. He's got no known criminal history, no connection to the victim's family. Horner is an independent contractor who was working with FedEx. Apparently, he's also worked with Uber in the past. Authorities say they learned early on the FedEx delivery driver had been to the Strand's home at about the time Athena disappeared and worked with FedEx to identify and locate him. After first giving police a false lead on where to find her body, Athena's body was found southeast of Boyd, about 10 miles from where she was reported missing. I've heard 6 miles, so that number, the mileage could be wrong. So he gave them a couple wrong locations, and then he finally gave them where she was actually located. So this one is from heavy.com. Again, take all these sources as you will. Some are more reliable than others. This one has been updated as of yesterday. States 12:43 p.m. on Saturday. And there's the monster to your left and the poor innocent Athena on the right. Tanner Lynn Horner is the FedEx driver accused of abducting and unaliving 7-year-old Athena Strand in Paradise, Texas. Authorities released the suspect's name in a December 2nd, 2022 news conference. He's a former Uber driver and drummer who plastered his social media pages with photos showing him holding a newborn. Again, I don't know whose child that is, so I would like to keep that kid private because we have no idea whose child that is. We're sad to say it didn't end the way we hoped it would, Wise County, Texas Sheriff Lane Atkins said, confirming the child was unalived. The suspect's full name is Tanner Lynn Horner. The sheriff said that Horner confessed. So here's one of the photos from his social media. The arrest marked the end of a 2-day search for the little girl who authorities say was abducted from her driveway. According to a Facebook post from her mother, Athena was last seen alive at her father's house in Paradise, Texas at approximately 5:30 p.m. on November 30th, 2022. An Amber Alert was issued. Yeah, the Amber Alert was issued on Friday. Here's what you need to know about Tanner Horner. Tanner Horner described himself as an Aspie and metalhead musician on Facebook. The sheriff confirmed Athena's body was discovered. There's a picture of him with a baby, and I'm kind of getting through it because I don't really want to focus on the baby. Atkin called the investigation a monumental task. Some of the answers discovered were not some of the answers we would have hoped to have gotten, Akin said. Her body was recovered about 2 hours ago, maybe 3. 6 miles in that direction. It hurts our hearts to know that that child died, Akin said. The child's body was on the way to the medical examiner's office, he said. There's a Texas Ranger in front of her, and there's a Texas Ranger behind her, said Akin. The community does not like losing our children. Completely agree. The loss of any of these children is just, it's heartbreaking. And it looks like there's a Twitter post from Scoop Jefferson that says Wise County authorities acted in a tip which led to the search of a FedEx truck driven by 31-year-old Tanner Lynn Horner, now charged in abduction and unaliving of 7-year-old Athena Strand, who went missing 2 days ago. And there is a video there if you want to go and look at that particular post on Twitter. On Facebook, Horner31 described himself as Aspie, non-neurotypical musician, metalhead, love it stupid, and not to mention completely asinine. Whatever that means. He wrote he was a former drummer at Walmart who worked at Buried a Lie and was a former drummer at Albertsons. He studied at Azell High School and wrote that he was in a relationship. He filled his Facebook and Instagram pages with pictures of him holding a small baby. And there's a picture from his Instagram. Looks like he's at the gym. From what I could tell, he was going to the gym to lose weight and talking about that. That I did notice on his posts. On Instagram, he referred to himself as vocalist of Commit and Conquer, autistic as lingua, whatever that means. People have filled up his social media pages with angry comments. I'm sexy and I know it, Horner wrote with one selfie he posted to Instagram using the name at CNC_Twitch. Burning in hell, a person responded. Yeah. People aren't too kind when you kill a child. Athena's mom wrote, please help me find my daughter. That would be her Facebook post there. She posted on Thursday. That's the biological mother there, Madeline Presley Gandy. She had posted about her daughter. She was the one that was having health issues, so Athena was living with her father and the stepmother for a short period of time so that she could get through some health issues she was having. Before the child's body was discovered, Athena's mother turned to social media for help. Madeline Gandy, Athena's mother, wrote on Facebook, please help me find my daughter, Athena Presley Monroe Strand. She's been missing since 11/30/2022 at 5:30 p.m. in the area of Paradise, Texas. She also wrote, please remember Athena is a very real, very loved little girl, and her mama misses her very, very much, and mama's number one wish is to bring her home. Yeah, this is heartbreaking. In another heartbreaking post, she wrote, Athena is still missing, and we are now over the 24-hour point. Thank you to my wonderful family and the large support from the Wise County community. We are continuing our search. I ask that everyone pray. Pray some more, continue to pray, and never stop praying. I cannot live without my baby, and I need her brought home safely to me. Athena didn't walk away or disappear on her own. I will not give up or stop until I have Athena back. I feel like there is a hole in my heart and half of my soul is missing. An Amber Alert was issued earlier today. Please do not give up on my baby. It's so heartbreaking. I hate that we're finding these babies gone. I really do. And there's her Facebook post with some photos of beautiful Athena. She's a very, very beautiful little girl. No criminal history comes up in Texas statewide records for Horner. 3. Tanner Lynn Horner, who was accused of being an artist in a 2019 Facebook post, made a delivery near the girl's house, the sheriff says. The FedEx driver made a delivery in front of the house about the same time as 7-year-old Athena went missing, Akin said. She was abducted from her own driveway. That's really sad. You can't even go and hang out in front of your home in your own driveway. And for those that have seen her property, I'll have to add a photo here. It was a lot of acreage, and it looks like they had more than one home building. They had a mobile home, I believe, another double wide on the property, but it was in one of a very long driveway. So, but the property was owned by her father, so she was on the family's property. The driver abducted Athena, the sheriff said. We think Athena died within the very hour or so after the departure from her home. According to the sheriff, Horner led police to the body after first sending them on a wild goose chase to 2 false locations. Horner was a contract driver for FedEx, authorities said. And there's another picture of him from his Instagram. In 2019, a woman wrote on Facebook, quote, friendly reminder that Tanner Horner is an artist, unquote. In the comment thread, another woman said he drove for Uber. A transphobic artist in a pop-punk band. What a shocker, added another. The woman who wrote the post added in another, quote, Tanner Lynn Horner, the man who arred me at 16, 8 years ago, unalived Athena Strand, a 7-year-old girl. I hope the family gets the justice they deserve. I hope he rots. And I hope that everyone who didn't believe me when I talked about this for 8 blank years does now. Blank all of you, unquote. So he may not have a record But that doesn't mean that he hasn't done things, and it sounds like he's at least done one potential, allegedly. He may have R somebody. Horner, who used to drive for Uber, is being held on a $1.5 million bond. Horner is from Lake Worth, Texas. Online records show he's also lived in Fort Worth and Benbrook, Texas. Horner's being held in the Wise County Jail, the sheriff said. He's being held on a $1.5 million bond, according to the sheriff. On Instagram, Horner revealed that he used to drive for Uber. Ubering out in Denton, getting that money, he wrote in 2018. He shared the lyrics to his song, writing, "Sometimes I hear her cries. Silence is the dirtiest trick in life. If I'm so empty, then why do I feel alive? Let's go back for the last time. When you breathe, you lie. Pretty things keep your mouth closed and those legs tangled close." That's weird. Horner, who wrote blank everyone else on his Instagram page, will be charged with capital M. There's a picture of the sweet Athena. The sheriff said Athena's body was found along a county road. Authorities initially believed it was possible that Athena ran away, CBS News had reported. Akin said Horner will be charged with capital M. Horner did not know Athena's family or the child, sheriff said. According to CBS News, Athena's stepmother reported her missing after the stepmother and child argued. She looked for Athena for about an hour and then called authorities. The father was not home, CBS reported. Yeah, he had left for a hunting trip, apparently. That was normal for the family, for him. "I don't understand how people are okay with themselves knowing they emotionally destroyed someone," Horner wrote on Instagram in 2018. In another post he wrote, blank love. Love gets you hurt. Guard yourself and blank everyone else. Who even gives a blank anymore? He shared a drawing of handcuffs and wrote, "Because it's more fun that way. Hashtag kinky, hashtag BTSMR, hashtag spank." Creepy. So he may not have a record, like an actual record, with police, law enforcement, but it sounds like he may have committed an awful crime. So this man right here, he doesn't sound like he's been so innocent in the past. So he may have some past that no one's aware of, and I'm not aware if Texas has limitations on the on SA and R. If not, I hope this girl has come forward and reported that, if she hasn't already, to authorities. Granted, he's already going to be being charged with abducting and unaliving Athena, but if he did more, I hope they all come forward. Anybody who was hurt by this man, I really hope they come forward, because he deserves everything he gets if this is the kind of person he is. If he's a monster, and monsters deserve to be locked up behind bars and have the key thrown away. So that's pretty much the updates we have on this. There is a statement though from FedEx. This was the statement from FedEx that they posted on their Twitter account, their official Twitter account. They stated, "Our thoughts are with the family of Athena Strand during this most difficult time. Words cannot describe our shock and sorrow surrounding this tragic event. We continue to cooperate fully with the investigating authorities." So they posted that on Saturday. Really, really sad situation. I really feel for this family, and it's horrific. As a child, you shouldn't go outside, and regardless of the fact that she had an argument with her stepmom, she probably went outside to get some fresh air and to cool off and maybe walk around the property a bit. And this FedEx driver comes up and decides he's going to abduct her. Sick, sick, sick world that we live in, and it's bad enough when you hurt an adult, But when you hurt a child, it's despicable. And to me, there's just no excuse for it whatsoever. There's just none. It's a poor innocent 7-year-old child. She didn't do anything to anyone else, and yeah, it's horrific. It truly is. Okay, that said and done, I wanted to go over the Facebook group that has been posting about Athena since Thursday. Mom has been posting, and they've been sharing Mom's posts. So let's end this video on some good stuff about little Athena. Her mom had posted, looks like some baby photos and some photos of little Athena here. And Mom states, Athena's favorite color is pink. She loves to dress up as the princess we all know she is. When she grows up, she wants to be a Viking princess, just like her Viking daddy, with lots of tattoos everywhere and hair as long as Rapunzel's. She loves all animals and all people. She loves jewelry and all things shiny. Her favorite fast food joint is McDonald's. No, she would eat it 3 times a day, every day if Mommy and Daddy had allowed it. She loves all people. Athena really loves makeup and doing Mama's and Sissy's makeup. Athena goes crazy for candy and sweets. Athena loves swimming and jumping off of diving boards and being outdoors. Athena loves her 2 baby sisters with all she has. She is the best big sissy. Athena loves school, drawing, and laughing. Athena has the best laugh. She thinks farts are hilarious. Athena is loved by Mommy and Daddy and all of her sisters, many, many uncles, aunts, cousins, and grandparents. That's so sweet. And they have lots of really beautiful photos of her here. Let's pull up some of these photos. Some of these very beautiful photos of little Athena. I'm going to get through the beautiful photos here. So this beautiful soul was taken by a monster for no reason. No reason whatsoever. Monster. That's a monster, and he deserves everything that's coming to him. And I really hope he gets it. Yeah. And there's another thing. Anyone who was attacking the stepmom really, really should apologize. If you've done that on social media, they were going after the family, and this happens far, far too often in these missing kids cases. They go after mom and dad or mom and dad um, before they have all the answers. And if you were one of those people that did it, I hope you have or you will be apologizing, because blaming stepmom, regardless of if they had an argument that we aren't aware of, for doing something to this little girl is awful. There's no reason for it. So I'm going to close the video with this beautiful picture of this beautiful little girl. What a beautiful face. So I'm going to continue to update on this case. I'm going to get justice for little Athena. She deserves all the justice. She really, truly does. And my prayers, my thoughts and prayers go out to her entire family right now during this very difficult time for them. And I hope they can get some peace in knowing that everyone is out there supporting them with prayers and virtual hugs and just support. Can't imagine losing a child, let alone any time, but we're entering Christmas time, and what a horrible, horrible thing for this family right now. All right, guys, I want to thank you for checking out today's video. And with that said and done, have a great rest of the day and stay safe.